tasty chicken meal has become the norm in most occasions in Kenya. Chicken lovers have increased in both urban and rural areas. From weddings to birthdays, the meat bird hardly misses on the menu. This explains the rising demand of broilers. There are still, however, information gaps that need to be filled. On today's Poultry Farming Show, we delve deeper into the nitty-gritties of broilers rearing. Also referred to as fryers, broilers are meat birds that are farmed not only for meat, but also for cost benefits. With a poultry population of 29 million birds, the indigenous chicken carries the lion's share, taking up 76%. Moreover, layers consist of 9%, while broilers come in second at 13%. The 2% make up for other poultry such as ducks, geese, turkeys, quails, guinea fowls, pigeons, and ostriches. Broilers are heavy feeds that are commonly brought to the farm as young chicks. Types of breeds include Bird and White Plymouth Rocks, Buff Orpington, White Jersey Giant, and Abo Axe Hubbard Vantress. White Cornish and White Plymouth Rock is the duo that makes up the breeder stocks. Characteristics include heavy in weight, white feathered and laying of brown eggs. This type of breed has been developed for quality and quantity of meat. The distinguishing factor between White Plymouth Rock and White Cornish is that White Plymouth lays more eggs. Breeding should be done in the right way in order to get the best results. It is important for a farmer to introduce one new cock for every 10 hens in every 2 years. The aftermath of inbreeding is not desirable as it includes stunted growth, low production, decline in performance, and loss of vigor. As a poultry farmer, it is your duty to always protect your brooding hens from predators, rodents, and other enemies. By so doing, your brooder hens will be comfortable and can easily hatch 15 eggs per sitting. The brooding phase takes about 8 days, after which the first eggs should start hatching. The caring nature of mother hen is seen at this stage. She will normally keep the chicks with her for 1 or 2 days before feeding them. The eggs that will not hatch after this stage will go cold and most likely not hatch. In a bid to maximize the amount of chicks, it is advisable to always have enough water and food near the mother. It is essential to house your broilers in order to protect your chicken from thieves, harsh weather, and predators such as hawks, dogs, owls, fox raccoons, and coyotes. Poultry houses and shelters vary depending on the availability of materials, weather, and tradition. Cost, durability, and usage form the basis of selecting the right chicken housing.
Try and remove your chicken now from the house and set up a house differently from the house.
Outdoor access should be provided in organic production, upon which the hen has the freedom to choose outside or indoor.
Ikifika sasa mwezi wa 3, tunatumia chakula ambayo inaitwa growers, na wanahitaji vitamins, wanahitaji jua. So tukitoa sasa nje at around saa 7, kuna chakula ingine ambayo tunapea, alafu wakule nyazi na wapata at least jua. Itakuwa imekata cost ya chakula, because we feed in the morning, by saa 7 tunatoa nje, and then jioni sasa tukifunga kienyeji atulishi, wanalala. But broilers unahakisha hata 24 hours, day and night, sababu growth yao ni fast.
When selecting sites for poultry housing, one should do the following. Provide dry and friable litter. Avoid areas where predators can camp. Dark areas is a no-go zone for chicken housing except for nest boxes. Ensure your chicken house has good air quality that includes correct humidity levels, favorable temperatures, low ammonia levels, and good ventilation. Locate the poultry coops in free draining, flat, shady, south-facing pasture so as to minimize building up of internal parasites and coicidal oocytes, hence ensuring better retention of grass cover.
In my farm visits, there are 3 farm visits that I normally do. The first one is called the pre-farm visit. The pre-farm visit basically goes, the vet goes to the individual farmer and assess the structures that the farmer has. I look at, number 1, the height of the house. Is it to the required 8 feet in height? Number 2, I look at the ventilation. Is it 4 feet to the required 4 feet? I look at the east-west orientation of the wind, because you see, houses of the poultry houses should be aligned. The long axis of the house should be aligned in the west-east orientation, so that the cooling effect as a result of the shadow casted down on the opposite side of the sun brings a cooling effect to the poultry house. Then I look at, is the farmer having biosecurity measures? I look at the footbath, I look at the hand spray to ensure that the farmer actually has these things, because this is the breach that ensures the outside environment is different from the internal environment. At the poultry house that the farmer should be having, it will remain as sterile as possible.
The poultry houses should have windows on either sides for efficient ventilation. In the same tune, the roof should have a hole or ridge for proper lighting and facilitate ventilation as well.
Light ya kuku, as long as you are able to read maybe a magazine or a newspaper inside, that's enough lighting for them. Air should flow comfortably in the house. Usiende kona moja usikie hewa inakwama pale ama kona ingine. And again, there should be no moving wind in the house.
Use wire that includes chicken and mesh wire on windows to avoid predators and wild birds. Use cheap, locally available materials such as bamboo, wood, reeds, thatched grass, or clay bricks in efforts to maintain good temperatures for your broilers and sustain protection. When it comes to cleaning, make a house that is easy to clean in order to shield your broilers from diseases and parasites.
Kama kwa system hii about the free range, at least make sure you have a smaller depth ya kinyezi yao, so that wanaweza kupindua hiyo kinyezi na ina absorb moisture. After some time, make sure you collect and clean the house. Kwa system hii ingine ambayo tunao ya cages, we sweep every day. Make sure you sweep every day ili kinyezi yao, kwa sababu hawa wako kwa nyumba ya juu, ile ammonia isiingie wavamie. Naye hiyo kuna challenge yake ya kumanage the dung. The dung should also be well managed, kwa sababu dung ya kuku pia ni source ya magonjwa tena. So we manage the dung, where we keep the dung, how we dispose it, kwa sababu usipofanya hivyo, chafu na viini zita recycle back into the house na itakusumbua.
Remove any sharp objects from the house to prevent your broilers from acquiring injuries. Lastly, all broilers must have an outdoor run. Despite the fact that organic broilers grow slower than conventional ones, they must have an outdoor run to prevent their bones from getting weak. Broilers like sunshine, which reduces stress in the meat buds and helps in keeping them healthy. Just like layers, feeding is important for broilers to increase the production of meat. Absence of feed and water will reduce resistance to parasites and diseases.
You talk about the quality of inputs from the chicks to the feeds to the medications. Everybody is in the business of selling feeds and chicks all over, but no one gets to ensure that the farmers have the right quality that will grow within the right time and the right food. So these are the key areas.
Feeds will vary depending on the composition and availability. They do depend on season, locality, and production system. Broilers need feeds with a fair share of vitamins, energy, protein, minerals, and water. The urge to satisfy the broiler will change depending on the age of the meat bud.
We are also concerned about the meat. So you have to use our feeds. We have to use the feeds from us, the medications from us, because we want to ensure that we start tracking how you're progressing with your chicken from the word go. So anytime you have a problem at the farm, you don't have to call anybody else. You have to call our vet to assess.
Use of local resources forms the cheapest ways of supplementing the diet of the birds. To avoid destruction of vitamins in the feeds that are essential to the broiler, observe that the feed is not stored for too long or under poor conditions such as humidity and heat. Feed that is high protein is recommended for broilers. Broiler chicks should be fed within the first 4 weeks of their lives. It is during this period when they receive at least 20% of proteins. After 4 weeks, the amount of proteins that you should feed them reduces to 19%.
Broilers ni 6 weeks. Ni 6 weeks peke yake. Chakula tunaanza na starter, tunaenda finisher. So normally ninaleta broilers 240 a set of 240. By the time ikiwa the 4th week ninaleta kidogo, na ninaleta ikiwa 1 day old.